Alright, hi everyone, welcome back to our Ask PropertyLimBrothers episode number 11. It's been some time since we have been doing this FAQ series, and based on our past feedback from our audience, we want to thank you that you guys actually enjoy all the Ask FAQ series, and it's been very helpful for our audience. So now we are back with episode number 11. Check this out with us. Alright, so today we have a question from one of our audience. Now this question goes like this. I'm age 35 this year and I'm single. I earn $10,000 a month as an employee working in a bank, and I've managed to save up enough down payment for $1 million property. Should I buy a HDB resale property or should I buy a private property for my own stay? So based on this question, I assume that you have saved up at least 25% for the down payment for $1 million property, as well as the buyer's stamp duty for that as well, which for $1 million property is approximately about 25,000 plus minus. So the question says that he or she is unsure whether should a HDB resale property be more suitable or should a private property be more suitable. Now, based on this question, actually there are different routes that you can go to. I mean, end of the day, there's a few choices. So some people, they will dabble into a HDB resale property as their first one once they hit the age of 35 years old, because you are then eligible for a resale property for the HDB market. Some people prefer to go straight to the private property market. Some people prefer to invest into a new launch as well. I would say that it will largely depends on what is your outlook in terms of your mid to long-term plan. I mean, have you actually planned out the kind of portfolio progression that you would like for your property investments in a sense? And whether right now, I mean, as you are a single person, I assume that probably you're still staying together with your parents. Do you intend to use this property for your own stay, or your parents are still very comfortable with you staying with them while you actually start to invest in properties in a sense or not? So it all depends on the situation. And of course, the first step will be, what is your personal preference? Do you want to really use this property for stay, or can it be purely using for investment for you to rent out in a sense? The second portion will be, you can actually refer to one of our investor series episodes whereby we talk about the comfort level based on your income and the kind of disposable income that you would like to have, or currently what are your personal commitments. Because at the end of the day, investing in a property or buying a property is a mid to long term kind of thing. And importantly is you have to be comfortable to own it at least for the mid-term to long-term. I mean, the last thing that everybody wants is to overcommit, over leverage on the monthly installment, whereby you hit a situation where you need to sell off that property urgently, because property is a huge ticket item. It takes time for you to exit if you want to sell. So you really must plan your personal expenses properly, as well as what is the limit of the monthly installment that you're comfortable to pump into using your monthly salary. So I would say that if you talk about the first thing, we have some clients who are very clear cut on what they want to do. I mean, I have clients who are single. When they hit age 35, the first route that they take is they immediately buy a very low cost resale HDB flat. I mean, I have a client who bought like a $300,000 HDB flat for, a 3-room model, and his goal is to finish paying it off in like 5 years time once he hits the 5 years MOP. And then from there, he will then go and buy another private property, probably a small one like a 2-bedder, to stay while he rent out this HDB flat for rental income. This is basically one route that some people choose to take, because the only way for you to own a HDB and a private is to start from the HDB route first, whereby you own it, you stay in it for 5 years. Make sure that during these 5 years, you're not allowed to rent out, you're not allowed to sell, and you have to stay in it in terms of the 5 years MOP. Then after that, you can then keep this HDB, you can rent it out, and you can then buy another private. But this route will require you to actually pay the additional stamp duty. Assuming now you're age 35, 5 years later you're age 40, and assuming that you're still single, you will need then to pay for the additional buyer's stamp duty for the second property. And if your HDB is still unpaid, then your loan basically will be 45% based on today's ruling. Now, I mean, we don't think that the rules will be tweaked soon. I mean, the ABSD rule definitely should be here to stay unless something happens and the government decides to tweak it and stuff like that. So let's just assume that 5 years later, the ABSD rule is here to stay, second mortgage loan is here to stay and stuff like that. So this is the one HDB plus one private property route. And end of the day, you must be somebody that is comfortable to want to have the one own stay property plan plus the other property basically is for rental income or rental investment kind of. So you must be somebody who is very comfortable to have another property investment for rental yield purposes or capital appreciation purposes. But if let's say you are somebody that just want to have one property itself, then just go for one property, buy and stay, and so be it. Right, so another route that you could possibly take is if you want to buy a private resale property. Now, do take note that of course the moment that you buy a private resale property, you can immediately stay. If you go for a new launch private property, you have to possibly wait another 3 to 4 years before you can stay. So end of the day, my question back to you is, do you need to stay in this property immediately? As a single person, do you want to move in immediately? Or you can actually wait. If you can wait, then you have another option, which is to buy a new project development, because most of the time you need to wait 3 to 4 years. And based on your $10,000 salary, definitely in terms of a TDSR loan mortgage, you can definitely afford a $1 million property. That's not a problem. So the only thing is to weigh all your options based on your personal preference, based on your expenses plus disposable income, and also what is your plan. I mean, do you intend to eventually own more than one property, or are you very happy with one property itself? Another question that people usually will ask is, should then they go for a resale private or a new launch private, and what are the key differences? We have answered that in our previous episode, but probably in the next episode then we will talk more in depth about this question. Now we hope that this answers your questions. See you in the next round.